Actually quite disgusting. Nigel Farage called EU hypocritical and buried RNLI bosses on his show. Nigel Farage took aim at the RNLI bosses once again on his show on Tuesday evenings as he blasted the organisation for being woken out of touch with its core values. After the RNLI, Royal National Lifeboat Institution, joined forces with border control last week in an attempt to save migrants crossing the Channel from France, Nigel Farage hit headlines for describing the organisation as a migrant taxi service. The politician-turned-presenter's comments were met with backlash from many, with a record-breaking number of donations being pledged to the RNLI in the wake of his remarks. But on Tuesday evening, Farage tried to offer some clarity on his stance, insisting he didn't take aim at the amazing work of volunteers, but rather the woke bosses who steer the institution. Farage's takedown came after discussing delays at Heathrow Airport as confusion over travel continues. He said to viewers, "We discovered some border force from Heathrow and Gatwick have been sent down to Dover. I wonder why." The former Brexit Party leader then teed up his What the Farage segment where he continued to take aim at the border force. The presenter then shared a clip of a border force boat carrying migrants across the Channel, taken from Dover Harbour on Tuesday morning. "Once again, today in Dover, it's been a busy day. We don't yet have the official Home Office figure but, you know, it will be in the hundreds and it will be in the hundreds again tomorrow, and it is an absolutely catastrophic failure of policy," he ranted. Farage then blasted, "A failure not just from the Home Office but from a border force that repeatedly tell us they are going to get this under control." The Thost then revealed how senior members behind the organisation had been granted pay rises. After admitting he was a believer in people being paid based on performance, he blasted the reported decision to grant raises to 3 senior bosses behind border control. Farage's blistering attack on border control soon moved on to the RNLI after he made headlines criticising them for helping with the migrant crossings on his show last week. "There'll be more on the migrant crisis," Farage continued. "Oh, and there will be more on the RNLI who many now think I attacked her last week on this program." Defending his stance, Farage said, "I didn't attack the crews and the amazing work they do. I did question why Border Force is now effectively using the RNLI as a branch. The RNLI should not routinely be used by Border Force. If there's an emergency, fine, you scramble the lifeboats. But they're being used routinely and the whole system has become little more than a taxi service for mass illegal immigration into this country." Farage then turned his attention to the backlash he received, telling viewers, "And those who thought you could somehow bully me online on this are wrong. I am the strongest defender of the RNLI you will ever meet. I've raised money for them, I've campaigned for them. I don't want to see them being used in this way," he continued before voicing his fears for its future. "I fear that the institution itself, not the volunteers, the institution itself with their head office in Poole has frankly become somewhat woken out of touch with its original aims. Which is simply saving lives at sea," the former UKIP leader added. Nigel Farage has ridiculed Brussels' last-ditch fishing proposal to continue the status quo fishing agreement in the event of a no deal. The EU sparked a fresh fishing row with the UK after Brussels proposed a series of contingency measures in the event there is no post-Brexit trade deal from January 1. For fisheries, the EU is proposing a year-long legal framework for continued reciprocal access by EU and UK vessels to each other's waters in 2021 while talks continue. Others Brexiteers reacted furiously to the fishing offer, with Tory MP David Jones, a senior member of the European Research Group of Tory Brexiteers, adding, "They seem to want access to our fish without giving anything in return." He added, "That is not a deal, that is appropriation." Mr Farage's remarks comes as UK sent a defiant warning shot to the EU last night by announcing that armed Royal Navy boats are being prepared to patrol the UK's fishing waters.